Kaboom. Kaboom. Skedaddle, skedoodle. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see what we can do here. Alexa, turn the lights to 10%. We'll see if this wants to work today. So, nope. I don't know why these lights stopped working after a while. Might be the batteries in here. We are back with another day of some Divinity, Original Sin. I'm excited to get back into it. As you can see, we have our primary character, who we are building as a paladin. So we have Aragorn. We also have our secondary character, who is a witch. So our primary spellcaster, who we named Yennefer. Followed with our two companions that we chose for the adventure, Jehan and Bear Daughter, and we'll be carrying the two of them with us for as far as we can reasonably go. We have to speak to this guy, Commander Aureus, who is the leader of the Legion as it is here.
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Scythial. Don't make waves, and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs. You hear?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Scythial. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. For I fear it may well be but a matter of time before the undead undo all my soldiers and turn them into driveling hordes of their own misshapen number.
Let's discuss Jake's murder.
Above. Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. He just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot.
Continue.
Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town. Not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you!
In regards to Jake's wife, Esmeralda.
Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps?
No,
That certainly
I
would
don't.
explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past.
Oh, so part of the history is apparently we made some mistakes as an organization, the Source Hunters. We'll get to that.
What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone?
Right, because they are a little bit inquisitive
Well, I
because they're
won't
hunting
stand for
sorcerers.
such
That makes
nonsense.
sense.
If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition.
I'd like to ask some additional questions.
If you must.
So your main problem is the undead?
Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. And it takes all the sword arms and all of Ahu's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. Were that I could break their backs once and for all.
How are you enjoying Scythial?
How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Scythial stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a good day, the wind disperses the stench of decomposing corpses. I can't remember the last time I had a proper piece of steak, and by now, I retch at the mere sight of sardines. So in conclusion, I am not enjoying Sicil.
Lady Valiant. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hi. I hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you. I've been hopping in and out of Jellyfish's streams, and I know you were there. You used to be there quite a bit, and it seems like all the times that I've gone, I've missed you. So hope you're good too. I'm doing well. Yeah, I hope you're doing good. Let's see. Tell me about the Legion.
We are the pride of Riverlon. To be found.
Got it. Yeah. Well, I hope you've had a good time taking a little bit of some time away. I hope it's been productive and fruitful.
No, we protect the.
And if it hasn't, then I hope it's been not as bad.
So impeccably.
What, in your opinion, are the orcs doing on the beach?
I'd say they are looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't succeed, though. Not against the Legion.
Arhu tells me he suspects a sect might be at work around Sicil.
Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking God's knows which body parts. Sects, sorcerers. You'll be seeing flying carpets next.
Alright, we'll go ahead and trade with him, because this is where we get to buy all of our physical abilities. So all of the abilities that I'm personally going to need for my main character, this is where we will get them. So one of the ones that I definitely want to get is one that I don't think I have currently, is I want to get Encourage. So let me actually check to see, just to make sure, because I believe I don't have it. Yeah, Divine Light, not Encourage. So yeah, we're going to go and buy Encourage from him.
What now?
Buy it. And then we're going to sell a bunch of stuff that we just don't need. So we can sell this pan. We can sell this two-handed splitting maul. This wood staff, this air staff, this bow, this dagger, this two-handed practice sword, that old robe, this shield. And then we're allowed to sell this golden grail, because the whole point of this golden grail is it's here for me to sell. But I'm going to hold on to it for a bit. But we can sell that. We don't need it. I just don't want to sell it currently. So I think we'll be good here. And let's go use that ability book. Let's see what my puppy wants. Oh, he wants to play with the ball. Yeah, there you go. Hi, buddy.
I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know. What about it?
I think we've already... yeah, we've already...
If you must.
Alright, we've talked about everything here. So now what we do is we go to our inventory, and with our primary character, we are not going to use Bluegill. We're going to go ahead and learn the Encourage ability, which we have currently done. So now, as you can see, we're actually going to clear out Flee, because that's a stupid ability to have. We're actually going to clear out this, and then we are going to skill, and actually, we're going to clear these out too. We're going to keep our skills kind of together. We're going to organize this well. So we're going to put Encourage here. We're going to clear that, and we're going to start putting all of our grenades here. So we're going to start with our Plague Grenade, our Holy Grenade, our Water Balloon, our Poison Flasks, and then our 4 Oil Flasks. And that's where we'll leave our grenades. So this will help keep things a little bit kind of separated in terms of his items. It just is good. Ouch. We don't want to steal any of his stuff. Anything that's highlighted in red means that it is a stealable offense to open those. So we don't want to go pissing off this dude. So we're not going to go down there and start stealing stuff. Now, as we get higher level, we will steal things with no concern. But we don't have the abilities right now to really even attempt that without making our life miserable.
No talking to these scoundrels, criminals, scum.
Trade with you? Oh, we can buy arrows from you, apparently. That's weird. So which criminals are in here?
Excuse me, Grabby Gus. This is a Legion treasure room, and absolutely no non-Legionnaires are allowed in.
That's fair. I didn't want in, but I'm glad I know that I'm not allowed to be. But see, I don't see any prisoners in here. That's like the confusing part, is they said that this was for prisoners, but I see none. Alright, now we know that Arhu's here. When we first met our benefactor, the glorious mage Arhu, who turns into the form of a cat, told us that he resides upstairs. So we are going to go talk to him. And here he is no longer in the form of a cat. Now, as a wizard in this world, I like how they kind of paint it out, where he's really involved along the scientific side of wizardry. So we're going to speak with him.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome.
How about you tell me a bit more about yourself, Arhu?
But certainly. What would you like to know?
Who, or rather what, are you?
Oh, I am but a wizard, a guardian of man and beast, and indeed I am both. My body, like any other, is bound to temporal decay. But my spirit is a speck of light that shone forth from the eternal sun that is the cosmic soul. My task upon this earth is to protect the heart of nature, the very antithesis of which is the intrigue spun by demons and directors of the dead. Hence my involvement in Scythium. You see, my one desire is to witness a world in which every mother looks around her and purrs with calm contentment. For she knows that her chicks or children, her cubs or calves, will grow up without knowing the meaning of menace, the enfeeblement of fear. To my great regret, none of them purr as yet.
Do you tell me a bit more about this cat trick of yours?
Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct, even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness, you couldn't possibly imagine the thrill.
I shall be lurking, but so happy to catch you again. Oh, thank you so much for the lurk, Lady Val. I appreciate it.
But of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs, this I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of two worlds.
Isn't it dangerous to polymorph like you do? What if you get stuck in another form?
Oh, that'll never happen. Granted, a witch could make the polymorph permanent if she'd enchant me in my cat guise, but I'll just have to be careful around witches, won't I? I'm my own wizard, you know, and I don't intend to become anyone's familiar.
Let's talk about source hunter business.
By all means.
Let's discuss Jake's murder.
Of course. I hope your investigation fares well.
So, what happened the night of the murder?
I can but piece together what few morsels fell from the grapevine into a rather disappointing meal, I'm afraid.
Continue.
They say a woman arrived in the King Crab Inn sometime after midnight. She retired to a room on the ground floor where she was soon joined by a man who had been nursing the same cup of wine for hours.
Okay, continue.
I say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. About an hour later, another figure arrived, headed for the same room. Soon after, a terrible commotion erupted and the thundering light of magic was witnessed by the few remaining patrons.
Continue.
It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter the mystery room. When finally he did, he found Jake there, dead. How and why he came to be there, no one knows. But I had a good look around the scene of the crime before the Legion barred anyone from entering. The traces of magic I felt were vile. Source, no doubt.
So, who, in your opinion, are the suspects?
I myself have none. Even though the rest of the town has already mentally tried and convicted Jake's wife, Esmeralda. Now, it may well be established that she is, in fact, the guilty party. I'm not claiming that I'm certain she's innocent, but let's just say that if I really thought this murder case would be so very easily resolved, I wouldn't have sent for source hunters.
Is there any more you can tell me about the strangers that seem to be in league with the orcs?
I can't say much more, but that they're madmen. All the more dangerous to us because of their alliance with what should be a natural enemy. You won't see me teaming up with a terrier in a hurry.
I have a few questions about Cyseal.
And what might those be?
What can we do about the undead that threaten Cyseal?
Those who are raising the dead dwell among us. They simply must be. But even though I've spent many a night leaping from tree to rooftop, watching on as citizens stagger home from the inn or simply burn the midnight oil, I haven't spied a single soul worthy of true suspicion.
Continue.
The enemy is wily. They know us better than we know them.
He is ripping
and
my arm
found
apart.
ways to avoid both detection and distrust.
You seem.
I am
Oh.
somehow convinced that you may succeed where the Legion and I have failed. Call it instinct.
You seem to have a bit of an orc problem, do you not?
You have a flair for understatements, Hunter. I'm sure they are but a minor nuisance in the eyes of a born warrior. But to the Legion, they are green-skinned death incarnate. Until they conclude what mischief they intend to see through, or, less likely, they are conclusively defeated, we can but bar the gates and hole up like mice while the cats are on the prowl.
How did you design those magical ballista of yours?
Oh, a mere trifle for one with the intellect of a feline and the engineering skills of a human. You basically construct a classic ballista, add a 100% legally obtained self-regenerating source of destructive magic to it, and Bobcat's your uncle.
I've never heard that phrase. Okay.
How can I
let's go ahead and trade with him. So with him, this is where we will be getting source books for Yennefer, because as a witch, she has the abilities of both geomancy and pyrokinesis. And those are the two abilities that we want to be able to get on her. So like, for example, magical poison dart. That's a good ability to use because it poisons people. And then if we hit them immediately with a flare, which we already have, it's gonna, you know, kaboom. So we want a kaboom. We like that. We can repair items that we have. So, you know, this is where we can kind of repair all of our armor. We're just gonna go ahead, do a quick repair on those.
But certainly. What would you like?
And then we leave. We don't need to stay here any longer. Obviously, I don't want to be stealing everyone's stuff. Again, just yet. We will be stealing people's things later. We just don't have the skill in Scoundrel to even consider it right now. So I'm not even gonna entertain that idea. He just wants to play. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna kind of keep going around Cyseal. We just want to explore as best we can.
Return marks of victory, Hunter. How can the Legion serve you today, Source Hunter?
Open the city gate if you
don't
please.
look like you're quite ready to head out into the undead-infested wilds to me. You may have the right number of champions in your party, yet in experience, I think you are most probably lacking. Of course, the choice is yours, but are you sure you want to venture out?
So I really like this because this is how the game really helps you understand, like, where it draws the line from letting you out of Cyseal. I'm going to say, don't worry, I can take care of myself, open the gate. That'd be for people that are a little bit more on top of their game. We're not going to leave, I just want her to open the gates. I don't want to have these conversations later. So we're going to have her open up the gates. And then we're going to continue exploring as best we can. Everything we can find. We'll talk to as many people as we can. We got a beggar here.
One coin or two?
noble spirit?
Oh, I am a happy man, and certainly a humble one now. It turns out losing it all has its own share of benefits.
So how'd you lose it all?
A fool once was I, and ever seeking greater satisfaction than that which I already enjoyed. In my folly, I sought the counsel of those notorious Watcher statues on the western cliffs. Their guidance ruined any small fortune I might have had, but certainly granted me humility.
Tell me more about these Watcher statues.
I'd heard they were not to be trusted, that they gave fools advice to the fools who sought them, but somehow I believed that I was the exception. They told me that I would find fame and renown if I renounced my worldly possessions, all my worldly possessions, and became a great figure of piety and humility. Fire, the most thorough cleanser, was my method. But as my house burned in front of me, I felt no elevation, no piety, only the sudden weight of my own idiocy upon my very soul.
Here, take a gold piece.
Thank you, kind one.
We'll talk to Yennefer.
So those statues told him he'd have to renounce his earthly possessions to become a spiritual leader, did they?
I'm gonna say it makes sense to me. How can you explore the spirit when you're busy keeping up with the Joneses?
Indeed. He said himself that he's finally learned humility. Maybe he made the right choice, really.
Yeah, so that discipline of removing yourself from worldly possessions, that tends to be a very typical kind of religious, and not even under like any particular faith, but just that tends to be a pretty consistent religious virtue of not relying on earthly possessions, not relying on material wealth, material possessions, and focusing on the spiritual wealth, which is that you impart on other people through wisdom,
right in front.
service,
I'll excite you.
and things like that.
I'll delight you. I'll beguile you. I'll besmile you. I'm Cedric
Will
the
besmile me?
Sensational, and I'm playing to an empty audience.
Tell me about yourself.
Don't pity me. No, sir. Just a few years ago, I was the all-singing, all-dancing, all-sensational darling of the town. People came from far and wide just to witness my amazing act. When Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? A talking head. Now, I never expected a silly gimmick like that to be my main competition.
Tell me about the competition between you and Reginald.
It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure entertainment. This curio is ruining what used to be an art.
Continue.
And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw.
Hee-haw.
Sure as the sun sets, that one devotee attracts 5 more, and those 5 more all curious about the commotion. I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and his boots than I've in my crusty handkerchief.
Why is it crusty? Why is it crusty? Chicken! We can talk to it.
You there?
Liberté, equality, and brotherhood for all will turn the wicked cleaver of decapitation upon you. Revolution.
Why is the rooster French? The rooster's French.
And who are you?
Stage Master Chaucer. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Oh, I should have been one of the greats. But here I am gathering peasants to watch peasants perform broadside pageants for peanuts.
Got a pretty bad case of the hiccups there.
No, really? I hadn't noticed. If not for this ridiculous condition, you'd know me as the king's favorite thespian.
Where can I find material to perform?
Don't you have an impressive library here in Sicil? I'm sure that beast of a librarian could rustle something up for you.
The stage master, are you? Perhaps I'd like to perform a show.
Take it up with Katarina. She's the master of this pig circus after all.
I'll take my leave. To Katarina.
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter! You're at Katarina's fair, a veritable summer home for troubled minds. Won't you take a seat and let our esteemed entertainers whisk you off to a better place?
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm Katarina the Fair, fairest first lady of the fair, of course. I do love making the acquaintance of my patrons, and who knows which of them might become one of my performers.
Continue.
I've an open stage in want of talent, and I've often found the best young performers among the rank and file of the audience.
An open stage, you say? And what if I were interested in putting on a performance?
The theatre's favor has overcome you, has it? Marvelous! I do so love a fresh green talent ready to bloom. But I support players, not writers, you see. If you want to perform here, you'll have to find tried and true material. Check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you. I'd love to see a Source Hunters take on one of the old standards. Right away, my dear, just as speak to my...
Yeah, I don't think I found anything to perform, so we'll have to go to the...
Fantastic! Kids! This here is the greatest illusion!
Reginald.
You there! Take a seat! Prepare to laugh your head off! Cry your eyes out! And teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan, the talking severed head!
Tell me about yourself.
I am Reginald the Illusionist.
Oh, he's an
purveyor
illusionist.
of the most amazing artifact in Andover.
Fancy.
This fantastical talking head. Catch the act while you can. This show will only remain in Sicil as long as there are Legion soldiers to entertain. My word.
Here, have a tip.
Hard times, Lord Pinchpenny?
Okay. Okay, I see. You don't like my 1 gold tip. How about your competition, Cedric?
Ah, yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hack simply bored his audience to tears until they cried for a replacement. Enter Reginald the Illusionist. We need our boys in red happy, relaxed, and ready to fight. Not wasting their energies cringing at a fool with a depressed rabbit in a borrowed hat.
Let's discuss your talking head.
That's right, a talking head. And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn so fantastic, you'll be begging to hear just one more, and just one more. It's quite a story how I found him, too.
Let's hear the story.
I obtained this curio by some rather sensational means. You see, I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer at the local children's apothecary on weekends, in the shallows around Sicil's own Black Cove, when I spotted something amazing. The chest belonging to the fabled Captain Pontius. Though the chest was stuck fast, I summoned a swell of great strength and prized it free from the ancient rock. I had the treasure of a lifetime in my very hands, but then, slurp, gulp, I was swallowed by an ornery kraken that seemed to appear from nowhere. In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink to the bottom of the beast's cavernous belly. Still, I feared only for a moment that all was futile. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and necrotic orphans who would be lost without my charitable support. I knew I had to live. Grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment, I summoned all my strength to slash a great gash in the creature's gut. Freeing myself from my would-be tomb, I swam as quickly as I could, first to the surface and then to the shore. It was there, along the rocky beach, that I tripped over this talking head. Strange, isn't it?
I'll take my leave. Time to talk to the head.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs will have to wait until the end.
Tell me about yourself.
I doubt I have to
Tell
tell
me
you
about
that I am
yourself.
the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Sicil. My audience sings my praises from hill and dale. Psst, you're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the seven.
The plot
You've got
is
to help me. I've
thickening.
been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything.
If you're ready, I'm going to pick you up now. You won't mind a little ride in my pocket, will you? Who just laughed? Was that a chicken? What the heck was... Oh, that was one of the audience.
It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it.
Hey, you there! Cut it out!
Bravo! Bravo!
So watch what we're going to do here, because we got to take the head.
Back for more, I see! Well, I can't say I'm surprised. What with Stefan rattling off
See how they're talking?
yarn after yarn. Take a seat, won't you?
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Excuse me, I'm trying... What do you call a source hunter who finds a way to draw a crowd? A resourceful hunter. Come now, it can't be that hard to find something to draw off the attention of this bleating herd.
So we got to perform. We got to have a performance in order to draw the crowd away. So what we're going to do in order to go do that is we're going to have to go to the library and get a play to perform.
A good day to you.
Not in the mood for cheese.
Cheese? Did I hear cheese? So yeah, we're gonna go to the mayor's office. Mayor Cecil. And we gotta talk to Victoria.
Jagetta, friend.
Who are you, madam?
I am Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The likeness isn't exactly striking, is it?
It's because she's an orc.
When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was found in a wicker basket floating past Sicil toward the sea. The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise be Amon Hor, dear Cecil was among the gathered crowd, and he took pity on the exiled infant that chance had put in his way. He raised me like I was his own, this kindest of souls, taught me the language of men, their customs and their letters. Thus, I became the city's librarian, a position I uphold with no small diligence and pride.
May I take books from the library?
Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hold is yours to peruse and even take with you. All I can ask is that you return the books you borrow so that others may enjoy them too.
I'll take my leave. Blank air scroll. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and send that to Jahan.
Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom.
Fun with fluids. We're gonna take that.
Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things.
Row books. Nothing there. I want to. That'd be a stealable offense. Fun with fluids. Don't want to steal. Sicil's Genesis, a play. A play once written by the court minstrel Lord Diederik.
Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs.
I'm gonna read this real quick. The excerpt from the traditional drama Genesis of Sicil is commonly performed in the local theater. Most Sicilians, and even a few foreigners, are amply familiar with the tale and refuse to tolerate deviations from the script most know by heart. The story goes that two adventurers who are lovers, Cyrus and Celia, sailed west from Ferrol, knowing not whether they would find land on the other side. They took with them sufficient provisions for 5 months of travel, but only during the last week of the 6th month did they land upon the land, which they would come to call Sicil. And then it goes through. So we're going to go ahead and take that with us.
Sigurd's beard, what a find!
We're going to read the history of Sicil. Brief history of Sicil by D.R. Galante. Though Sicil's borders have shrunk considerably in modern times, ours was an expansive kingdom of economic and strategic importance in the region of Andevale. Unembroiled in external politics, Sicil was free to expand from sea to sea and to the borders of Luculla Forest, where legendary and mysterious magicians are said to have resided. Why then did Sicil fall? First, trade. As the old kingdoms grew, Sicil's ports became less central to trading routes. Make a drink, Lady Valiant. I appreciate that. Give me a second, and then we will go do that. But most importantly, Sicil's history of a small and homogeneous population meant that its cultural importance faded as more diverse nations grew. Capitals that featured elvish musicians and dwarvish mead thrived while Sicil's trade stagnated. Still, Sicil is the seat of significant cultural importance, home of the last Source King, which I believe is Brachus Rex. The catacombs of Sicil are famed for their beauty and their supposed preternatural activity. In recent times, the leaders of Sicil are seeking to reinvigorate her economy. Fertile farmlands are being utilized at full capacity by the incentivized sale of lands to experienced farmers. Sicil's future shines bright indeed. He Who Smelts It, Volume 1. We're going to continue looking. We're going to clear out this room real quick, and then we'll go ahead and make our drink. Row of books. Sheet of paper. We'll take that. The Adventurer's Field Guide. The 2 volumes that were available. We like that. Row of books. We have a blank Earth Scroll. We're going to go ahead and send that to Yennefer, because she is a geomancer. The Philosophy of Death. Let's go ahead and read this. Let us briefly discuss life and death, the great opposites, the great equals. Death is greater than life, so saith the priest, for in death comes the gods' just reward. But if this be true, whether that reward shall be the solace of heaven or the agony of hell is decided. During one's lifetime, and therefore life is much greater than death, for it is the decision maker. And what of those who care not for the gods, who question the afterlife, the existence of deities? Life is life's own goal, they say. A wise sentiment I echo, and that even priests would do well to heed. But oh, how often does doubt assail those revelers of life? How often does fear approach with the creeping of shadows? So great becomes the looming horror that death becomes larger than life, and death becomes the greater force. Forget the promises of gods, I say, but defy the fear of oblivion as well. For only if life and death become each other's equals can the philosophy of death become one of life. Death is the instigator of faith and fear, but only if you let it be so. If you can gaze into its obsidian eyes, knowing it is the be-all and the end-all, but fear neither, then shall you have reached the shores of wisdom. So saith Nemris. It's a pretty good idea there. I like the kind of like the philosophy behind that thought. We have all of our stuff. We're gonna go ahead and do a quick pause. I'm gonna go get myself something to go make a drink. Thank you for the redeem, and I will be right back. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started on that drink, that betting, if you will. So what I did was I got everything needed to make my favorite. My absolute favorite. The one that I love the most. Which is known as a Southside. Such a great drink. Phenomenal beverage. I've made this on stream before, so it's nothing new. But just the recap of the history is this is an American-made drink. So there was a point in American history in which all of alcohol was deemed illegal during our Prohibition era. And you couldn't drink it. You couldn't order it. You couldn't ship it. And so what happened was that's how a lot of organized crime families began to sprout up. And a lot of criminal groups started to kind of arise, especially in Chicago, especially in New York, because they were smuggling from outside sources all these different liquors and then selling them illegally to make an extreme profit because people wanted it. So one of which is based off of gin. So I have a Beef Eater, London. It's a nice dry gin. And there was an infamous gangster in American history by the name of Alfonso Capone, in Chicago. And what he did was he smuggled in a lot of gins. That was a big one for him, was he smuggled in a lot of gins. So in doing so, what he found out was that it's such a good drink, that the specific gins that he was smuggling, they tended to be very, they weren't very palatable. People weren't really enjoying them because they were strong, so they were hard on the taste buds. So what bartenders started doing in the speakeasies at the time, where they started to implement, this is where cocktails started to jump into play, because they need to balance out the flavors in hopes of making a drink that people would want to get, because again, the goal is to make money. And so this is where modern bartending really kind of stepped up its game, especially with gin. So what they introduced was, by adding basically sugar and lime juice, they were able to make a drink that was perfectly balanced, perfectly sweet, and yet contained the tartness of the juice and the sharpness of the gin. Syrup here. So I am pouring everything into my drink now. Taking a second here. It's not a relatively difficult drink to make. It's actually incredibly easy. It's 3 ingredients. You shake it in a shaker, and the recipe's basically a 1-to-1. So when you put in an ounce of gin, you put in an ounce of simple syrup and an ounce of lime juice to balance it. So I'm going with 3 ounces of each. Simple. Nothing crazy. And you see we got our royal mixer. Good stuff. I muted myself so you didn't have to hear the sound of ice banging against metal. We have a nice little glass. Ooh, nice fancy glass. And that's where we get a Southside. So good. Thank you for the redeem, Lady Valiant. I appreciate it. It is so fancy, I might say. Super fancy. It is easily my favorite. Atronach, hello, hello, hello. Fancy seeing you here. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. All the hype. Super hype. Alright, we got a play to perform.
By the seven, what a tale!
By the oh, what's this? That looks like a Patty Cake, Volume 1. I want that. That reminds me, we have to read a few books here. We got to read Fun with Fluids. Yep, so we learn about Divinity qualities. So basically, I'm not going to read these books out loud, but this is how you learn how to craft different things, is by these little like crafting books. That's why I went and grabbed all of them. So we have a blacksmithing one, we have these adventurers guides, and as you can see, we learned how to make daggers. We actually learned a bunch of stuff just now. Wood chips. Yeah, brother, I'll be looking for a bit. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the alert.
What is it this time?
Perhaps I'd like to perform a show. Alright, I'm ready to begin. I like to do a two-man show.
Planning on playing to an empty audience, are you?
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated.
Let's begin.
Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, that is.
On second thought, I'd rather... Oh, I guess we wait until they're all here. Let's begin.
The stage is yours.
Alright, so basically what we have to do is we have to perform the play. And... So, Yennefer is playing Celia, I'm playing Cyrus, and so we're gonna go, enough, Cyrus, I can't take another moment aboard this death barge. I'm starving and I'm sick. Will we find no safe refuge from our travails?
Simply marvelous.
See?
The crowd seems to know the tale.
My
They wholly approve of your beginning.
My God, could it be? There!
Oh, I hope there's an
Look.
encore. Fantastic.
The crowd is thrilled. Whatever will happen next is sure to excite them.
What is it? Are we out of fresh water? Is there a leak in the hole?
Marvelous.
Fantastic.
The crowd seem quite impressed with your delivery. Keep it up.
Simply
Look,
marvelous.
Celia, there, beyond the mist. It's
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
The
It's what it-
crowd gasps.
It's
They're on the edge
land.
of their seats. Go on. Push
Because
them
remember, they
over.
found land after
Gasps
6 months of
ring
a 5-month
out
journey.
across the audience. They must know how it
Land,
ends.
my
They
sweet,
simply
land at
must.
last, and we shall call it Sicil.
The crowd explodes.
Because they really, really know this play, so you have to get it correct.
Come on! Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
I haven't
What
seen
is it this time? Bravo!
Enjoying the fair, aren't you?
Great thirst for colour. So ardently did he
This
crave
show is worth the...
Don't ask me what the...
contest across his realm.
What are you looking for? I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show I've ever seen. I'm amazed and astounded that for a meager gold coin or two, I can take in this first-rate entertainment all day long.
Same show all day? That seems like a bit much.
Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be known, and he slips me a few gold coins in return. My voice happens to carry pretty far. Cecile hears me. Cecile wants
so he's
to
got
see
someone
what
on
the
his
fuss is all
payroll.
about. And let me tell you, this amazing show just can't be beat.
My crowd's a little lackluster. Would you mind working your magic for my show?
Well, drawing a crowd's what I do best, and I'd be glad to do it for your little show.
That sounds reasonable.
100 gold up front, and yours will be the
Unfortunately.
hottest ticket in Cecile.
Yeah, take this gold.
98.
So he's going to go over to my crowd, and he's going to hype up my show.
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front. Well, I've stumbled in.
So now we gotta go. I think we gotta re-put the show back on.
What is it? Oh, not planning.
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. Now, let's not be hasty.
I think we gotta redo
They
it.
may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, that is.
While Gallagher's doing that, we're gonna use Bear Daughter to go steal that head. Yep, to see. Now Reginald's watching.
Who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. It won't be.
There we go.
Well, what's the hold-up?
If I wanted to wait around
The
doing nothing.
stage is yours.
We'll have to kind of quickly go through this.
The crowd seems to know the tale. They wholly approve of your beginning.
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
The crowd is thrilled. Whatever will happen next is sure to excite them. The crowd seem quite impressed with your delivery. Keep it up. The crowd gasps. They're on the edge of their seats. Gasps ring out across the audience. They must know how the crowd explodes into
Encore! Little did they know that I stole the head. So we got to send that to Aragorn. And then remember, we got to head to a basement to speak with the head, I believe. Filter out completed quests. Yeah, we got to talk to Reginald's cellar. So we have obviously all of our. Just clear these out. I gotta find Reginald's house, which I can't remember where Reginald's house is. It says Merelda. I think this might be Reginald's home. It's one of these ones. It might be one of these two houses too. It's not this one. This one's the apothecary. So this is the. Yeah, it's not that one. There's a sheep.
If you think black sheep are weird, try were sheep.
Were sheep? I don't want to try were sheep. Reginald's spare key? Ooh. Close that.
I've spotted something interesting.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite. Are you sure you want to disturb it?
We and our shovels will do as we please. No, that would be an insult to the dead. Yeah, we're gonna dig it up.
We most certainly will not.
All right, never mind.
We'll respect this gravesite by leaving it be. I'd hate to see you ruin those lovely hands of yours with calluses and dirt.
Let's see if we can beat her this time. There we go. So we should use paper. Yep. And then we just gotta beat her one more. Oh! Oh, okay, okay. Oh! This isn't good. We win. A little
No,
sus there.
we'll do as I say.
As you prepare to break...
I say it's time we respect this sacred ground.
Oh, she won't let me.
All right, we'll...
You step away.
She absolutely won't let me do it. That's wild. Yep, here's Reginald's house. So we are going to drink that. We're gonna move the carpet. Because lo and behold, that's where his cellar is. Fake arrows. So this is where all their stuff is. We're gonna read Reginald's diary. Fortunate day, trip down to the beaches of the Black Cove yielded a wonderful treasure. A talking head. Katarina says it is the stuff of source, but how can such a silly gag be the product of dark magic? It insists its name is Nick, but I think I'll call it Stefan. Now there's a name with the flair. Now there's a name with the flair of a showman about it. Wouldn't luck have it, Curio knows a story or two already, and what a voice! My show will be the most profitable at the fair. I fairly bulge with joy when I think of the sad sack look on Cedric's face. Headless Nick. Seems Reginald's a fraud. So now what we gotta do is we have to go to our inventory, and we actually have to use the talking head. So we can talk to him.
Ah, a little privacy at last. Out of earshot of that contemptible jester, we can finally speak freely. Where shall we begin?
What do you know about Reginald?
That charlatan doesn't have a lick of his own talent, so he begs, borrows, and beats it from those of us with a real vision for the stage. What I wouldn't give to give old Reggie a swift kick in the jugglers. Oh, to have legs again.
The jugglers? Tell me about yourself.
My true name is Nick. In life, I was an entertainer aboard the ship of the famed Pontius Pirate. I once dared
That's a fun name.
him, and he savagely beheaded me for the attempt.
So Pontius Pirate is a play on a biblical character in the New Testament, Pontius Pilate, who was the judge that oversaw convicting Jesus to be crucified. So that's a fun play on words. And I like that because I like pirates.
Little did I know the abuse was only beginning.
And since Pontius Pilate crucified Jesus, Pontius Pirate decapitated Nick.
In his company, listening to him blather on about his every inane opinion.
Little guy. No, don't go for the drink. Drink's not for you. We're gonna need to rebalance out my headset real quick. Hey, little guy. I know, I get it. I get it. You don't like being manhandled.
When I asked him to return my head to my body, it must
It's Fenrir,
be
everyone. We've brought the wolf.
He became enraged.
The
and
wolf is
tossed
among
my
us.
head into the sea. Reginald stumbled upon me some days later and consigned me into his horrid little show. I know not how long I've been entertaining slack-jawed imbeciles at the Sicil Fair. All I know is I just can't take it anymore.
So you want to be reunited with your body then?
More than anything.
We leveled up.
But the chances are so slim with the Black Cove utterly infested with Pontius's undead cronies. My poor lost body is among them, sightless and silent in their vile company. For all I know, they're using it as a coat rack.
Continue.
Traveller, if there were any way you would brave the cove's depths and reunite me with myself, you'd be doing me the only kindness I've received in as long as my poor memory serves.
Okay, ready. I'm gonna pick you up now.
It won't be the...
So we're gonna have to take him to the Black Cove, and that's cool. All right. So with Aragorn, what we're gonna go ahead and do is I want to see skills. There's nothing here that I can increase. So I'm not going to increase any skills. See personality. We have leadership and charisma. We're good there. Craftsmanship. He is going to be our blacksmither. So we'll work on that later because we're not going to start there. There's no need to blacksmith anything right now. Ow, dude. Block him out. Hold on. Goodbye. Sorry about that. The pup, in an effort to grab a ball out of my hand, accidentally nibbled on my thumb. That hurt. Okay. We can't increase single-handed. So what we're gonna do Woo! The sneeze. Oh my goodness. We're actually going to level up leadership to 1. Or to 2, technically. We have an item that increases it by 1. And then talents. 2 extra ability points. Non-magical attacks against slowed, crippled, or knocked down. Immunity from fear. Oh my god, not again. Okay. Something that's gonna make him tanky. Scientist will be a good one to take. That one's a good one. So thick skin. We're going to get extra armor equal to our man-at-arms ability plus 5. So that's going to be a huge hit right off the start. So we're going to go with thick skin. And then we're going to go ahead and confirm those changes. And as you can see, then our armor rating is now at 53. So that's a huge difference. 35, 36. Bear Daughter has 57. So, you know, those are a lot. So here, she already has an ability in Wand. She's got 2 in Willpower. Pyrokinetic Geomancer, she's good there. She's good there. We actually need her to have... We're going to start with Lockpicking. Because we want her to be our lockpick. She's got Far Out Man and Know-It-All. We don't have wands yet, so I don't have any on hand, so I normally would start with Magician, but I don't have a wand at the moment, so I'm not going to stress about it. We'll get that on a later one. So we're actually going to start with her on all skilled up, so we can get those extra ability points. And you have to kind of confirm the changes so that you can go back and use those ability points. So we're going to put 1 into Sneaking and 1 into Pickpocket. And that's going to balance out all of our abilities, like, right off the bat.
What can I do for you, Source Hunter?
I want to talk to J-Han. Nope.
I
don't want to talk to J-Han. Nope, stop. There we go.
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
It's easy enough to gain new strength when one is carrying an entire team on one's shoulders. Why? I'm playing Aragorn. Why is it having me talk? This is weird. We'll say, I suppose your example has inspired me to reach heights I've never envisioned before.
I suppose your example has inspired me to reach heights I never before envisioned.
There's no experience to be won from pestering me with vapid flattery. That inspiration hardly flows one way, my friend.
That inspiration hardly flows one way, my friend.
Oh, we're nice. Look at that. We're friends. We are friendly with each other. What do we have here? We have a locked door, so we're going to go ahead and attempt to pick the lock, which we can't do. No worries. Beat it down. Wow. I wonder if I can light it on fire.
Fire it up!
Nope. Oh my goodness. We can make dough. Let's create some dough, why not? Oh, and because we're level 3, we can go ahead and change out this hammer for this longsword. A lot of extra damage we got there. Now we're gonna head to more buildings here in Cyseal. That door is locked. Also locked. All these are locked. Let's go inventory. Let's send these to Yennefer. To do that, maybe she can pick these locks now. She can. Oh, this is an abandoned house. Divine Light. Let's pick that up. Now, paintings are, I believe, a good source of money. They tend to take a lot of inventory space up. Ooh, unique, unidentified antique cloth bracers. We got our first wand, and then a ring kit. Oh yeah, here we have He Who Smelts It, Volume 3. And then another painting, which we're going to take. Painting of a man. And we're going to go down the hatch. We're going to read this journal. Journal's cover appears swollen and weather-worn. Its spine cracks as you open the yellowed page. 3 Rubrin. They heave themselves across the tunnel like great slimy rats. Soon enough, I'll hear them tapping, banging at my cellar door to think that the smithy of Sicil will close for this. These doors that have remained open through sleet and shine for 100 years, shut for a passel of living bones. 4 Rubrin. Today the last fires will burn in my forge. I have crafted traps, many of them the undead don't like fire, or so I've heard. So they'll get a mouthful of it if they dare to crawl toward the cellar. I only hope that no innocents enter the cellar before the traps are sprung. The last it is the chance I must take. So the area is completely trapped, which is good to know. We're going to go ahead and pick up the nail bomb. And then we're going to pick up the hammer, because we can sell that. And then we're going to use this anvil. So part of what we can do here is we could combine the anvil with... we don't have a knife. So, like, if we had, like, a knife, we could add it there, but we don't have it. That's fine. Go into inventory. We can't identify these just yet because we don't have a skill in Lore Master. And that's okay. So, we'll hold on to those. Read that so that we can superior two-handed sword. That's always good. And then we are going to add item. We're going to do that. And then I think Divine Light is that one. Yeah, so we can sell that source book. We're not going to need that other one. Pick lock. Skeleton. Oh, we found hair. Nice. Summon air elemental scroll. We'll send that to Jahan. Walk slowly because there's traps. Use this lever.
What just happened?
Ooh, that's not good. She got stunned. Let's use that torch. Oh, that's not good. Skeleton. No, we triggered the trap.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Oh, it's going faster. We don't have enough lockpicks. No, we don't have enough lockpicks. Okay, so we'll sit tight. We'll come back, I think. We actually might be able to break this door down. This one we might be able to break down really easy. Some of them you can, at least.
Stone storm!
I'm gonna try to light it on fire.
Victory hangs in balance.
I'll worry about that later. Okay, that resets the... Cool. Okay, so we're just gonna need some more lock picks before we're able to really do something there. That's no big deal. We still kind of are moving pretty swiftly, I think, in the grand scheme of stuff. So we'll take that painting too. What? That painting was a trap? So here's kind of where we can utilize a lot of our skills personally. So they have a whetstone wheel, they have an anvil, we can kind of do whatever we want here. They also have a furnace. So all the things that we'll need for crafting are going to be right here. As well as a second anvil. Don't know why we would need a second one, but it exists. And then we're going to go ahead and have them open up this.
Baking like a
Oh,
cake.
that door is wide open. Actually, I think we can go ahead and enjoy our first fight. Yeah, let's enjoy our first fight. Let's get into combat here. I'm getting a little bored
Never
of
rains, but it pours, eh?
exposition. We have some combat we want to do. So again, Bear Daughter is our ranger, so we gotta love this. She missed. Oh no. Courage.
Vanquish them.
Nice. Failed to apply. So Jayhound's got a lot of abilities. Bitter Cold, Rain, Blitz Bolt, Shocking Touch, and Teleportation, as well as a nice heal. Right now, we need to let these zombies kind of get to us. So we're going to set a trap for them as they do that. And that trap is going to be in the place of Jennifer just absolutely blowing up this half-eaten zombie. There's the trap. These guys will have to walk around it. It's going to waste a lot of their action points. And this is how you manipulate the game. The half-eaten zombie's dead. That's not even in question. We're going to use our ricochet ability so that we can hit these two. Nice. Always a strong source of damage. And then she's going for the one in the back. Nope, she can't. We're going to use Man-at-Arms. And we are going to go ahead and hit this Armored Decapitator. We're going to cast Bitter Cold because they're wet, right? So we're going to do it on the one in the front so that it freezes him. Now, the only reason why that worked is because he was wet. And you have to be wet in order to be frozen. So this is how you utilize elemental damage types for your advantage. Really, really, really good stuff there. So we have a few points we can do. We're going to move him up. See if that gives us the room that we need. It did. He should be stunned, which he is. He's stunned for a round. So now we've officially stun locked him. There's nothing they can do. So we can go ahead and drop this here. It's going to spread the fire. And now we just get on with it. Done. We're gonna... I guess we'll pick this up.
An invigorating fight that was. And what a killing blow you delivered.
You had better save your petty compliments? Nah, no. Cheers, yes. And I handled myself like the best of the best, even if I do say so myself.
No need for false modesty where none is needed. You're a born source hunter, and that's a fact.
This is why she is my friend. Because we are super wholesome and friendly together. Toxic grenade. We're gonna pick that bad boy up. We'll sell that. Now, there's not much else we need to do out here in Cyseal, or at least outside of Cyseal. So, like, as you can see, the map is pretty massive. It's still moving. It's still moving. It's still moving. And it has stopped, right? So, 252x, 751y versus, or sorry, it was like 751y versus, like, negative 137y. So the map is really, really long. There's a lot of stuff to see. We're trying to stay here where Cyseal's at, I just wanted to fight something. We're going right back inside.
I feel like I've just had a long bath in a cold lake.
Your return marks a victory, Hunter. We'll vanquish our foes. Oh, it never ends around here. There's a zombie in my garden.
A sheep is missing. All the good stuff. Okay. So, yeah, we're just going to kind of keep doing some stuff here in the town. I don't really want to leave just yet, but as you can see, we can. We're level 3. The zombies were level 3. Steam Cloud, we're sending that to Bear Daughter. Cloud scraps. So a Steam Cloud Arrowhead just drops down a nice little spot of steam. It makes it difficult for ranged attacks to get through, so it puts a penalty on the attack roll. The Corpse Compendium, we're just going to read that. Second Life, Death, Rites and Rituals Among the Seven Races, Volume 1, Imps and Orcs by Temrin Gusk. Chapter 1, Imps. In all cases, the disposal or preservation of imp corpses is left to the discretion of their masters. Typically, imps are simply burned with the evening's refuse or buried alongside the dead pets of the master they served. In rare cases, especially obedient or well-loved imps will be given traditional death rites according to the imp master's race. In the case of embalming, imps pose no special problems. In fact, they require rather less formaldehyde than a typical man, elf, or dwarf. Chapter 2, Orcs. Though their practices may appear savage to the untrained eye, death inspires a complex and sometimes beautiful aspect of Orcish culture. According to the common Orcish religion, Amanhur, the All-Mother, receives the souls of the dead, thus death is typically celebrated, not mourned. The dead's corpse is buried immediately, and the beautiful totems or other relics are erected atop the grave. These are meant to please the All-Mother when she comes for the spirit of the dead. Next, tribe members from toddlers to elders, the queen included, form a great ring, and each by each relate a cherished memory of the deceased. Thus, the life and the passing of the deceased are recalled with joy and excitement. However, if any are caught mourning the dead in word or by tears, the punishment is death. For surely any who would mourn the passing of a soul to the All-Mother is a traitor and a disbeliever. Oh, yikes. I'm going to talk to Robert.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death?
Tell me about yourself.
This here is my family business. Yes, there's been a Roberts escorting stiffs into the next life since the foundation of Cyseal itself. They don't write epics about morticians, but I'm proud of my work nonetheless.
What can you tell me about Jake's murder?
Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace.
About Jake's body.
What about it? Didn't I just say we gave it a respectable send-off? Why are you giving me the 3rd degree? Now, if you don't mind,
that's a little tricky.
I'm trying
We're
to
just
run a
asking about the
business
body.
here.
That's a little sus. We're just asking about, you know, a body.
Death man is never
So, what's the bad news? More...
See, we don't have too much time. We're going to try to suss out Mortician chest key. We're going to steal that. How did you know I was stealing your stuff?
What do you think you're doing?
I didn't know you were up here. My bad. Go away. Robert's ledger, we're going to read that. Furthermore, I find it impossible that any but Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, Evelyn, or Esmeralda would have been able to gain access to the body without my noticing. A corpse can't just vanish into thin air, and even if it could, it's not as though a strong wind can blow a sack of gold onto the empty slab. No, one of them must have been involved, but as long as no one goes digging up Jake's coffin, I don't see how the crime could ever be traced back to me.
Like the mortician
so
is rather suspicious
the body's
about
gone.
What
That's
could
not
Mayor
good.
Cecil, Captain Aureus, or Evelyn have to do with it?
That's not good. So we got to find out where his body is, and we got to dig that bad boy up. And then we got to come back here and be like, hey, you lied to us, you little dirtbag. And that's probably how we're going to word it, too, is we're going to call him a little dirtbag.
How the coast reminds me of my long flame.
Who's talking?
I sailed the sea. I walked the worlds.
Just a random dude? Eglander?
Oh, how nice it is of you. The very picture of you.
To
break the monotony of an elder's day.
That's an old dude.
Wild away on this hard
Actually, I think that's an
bench.
elf.
Pray, let me be forward with you. Oh, sapling rose, oh, leaf of spring.
I will...
For my weary mind is troubled, and would highly prize thy gentle-handed assistance, thy kind ministrations.
Tell me more about yourself.
I am but an aged elf.
I knew he was an elf.
To see the years parade in long succession. Gladly shall I tell you more. Will I regale thee, O whelp of men, with my tale? But not here, where the winds may steal my words.
About the assistance you asked me.
You would listen to my grievances, guide me towards untroubled realms. Oh, you are truly a wonder, oh budding flower of the morn. Yet, that which I would tell you is of a rather private nature. So let us escape both the chill and the eye of public scrutiny. Hot spiced wine and a snug little room awaits us on the King Crab's first floor. Let us go there, so that we can warm our bones, yet make shiver our hearts with a tale of loss and sorrow.
End. We met an old elf. Meet us at his room in the King Crab. He said he needs our help with something. Okay, well, when we get the opportunity, we can go ahead and head his way. I won't do it just yet, because we have a body to dig up. And then here's the graveyard. I don't know which grave is his. We probably could be reading gravestones. I think that's a thing. Well, not this one.
Here lies Patrick. You can kill me, but you'll never kill the dancer inside me. Here lies Jared. Shall I come back as an enraged spirit, or a lovable prankster ghost?
Let's find out. Oh, he's coming back as... No, he's a bomb. He's a bomb. Not good, not good, not good, not good, not good. Jared's a bomb. Go away. Problem solved. We don't need the bowl.
Here lies Kimberly. Finally.
Oh. Oh, that dog's looking for Jake. The dog's looking for Jake. We're gonna talk to the dog, because the dog knows where we need to dig. Bone pile. Nothing. Dang it.
Here lies Catherine. I know, I was great.
I know I was great.
Looks like that dog is awfully agitated.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something.
Hey, wow.
Wow.
I was wondering where that awesome sweaty boot smell was coming from. And here you are. Wow. This is great. I'm Murphy, Jake's dog. Wow. You smell great. Have you been rolling around on dead things all day? That's my favorite hobby too.
Tell me about yourself,
You
boy.
know who I miss?
Sound like
Jake.
Kratos, boy.
Sometimes he'd just sit there being awesome. And I'd give him this look like, you smell great. And he'd give me this look like, you do too, Murphy. And he was my best friend.
Rest in peace, darling.
Okay.
I came here so I could smell Jake again. He smelled great. But whatever's buried there doesn't smell like Jake at all. No, it's definitely not Jake. He was awesome. If I ever find out who killed Jake, the most awesome Jake who ever jaked. I'll bark so much. Seriously, so much. You have no idea.
Alright, let's figure out which one's Jake's.
Here lies Kavanagh.
Kavanagh?
Will they have
You say
Sicil?
in truth this is a relief.
Oh.
Your world is made with rules I have not yet memorized. I am happy to have a friend in such a place.
A child of the bears? What does that mean exactly?
And so the lonely babe was fed upon the wild mother's milk, and cast aside from humankind, he thrived among his mother's ilk. So says the saga of Threes. Do you know it? The wise godwolf Amira raised the child Threes among her litter. So you see, I have good company. Threes the wolfson, and I the bear daughter.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Ask freely, my friend.
So you're raised by bears in the wild?
Your city is far more wild than Home Forest. In Home Forest, the rules are clear. In Home Forest, your strength and speed determine your fate.
Yep, it's a kill or be killed.
Here, a tiny screech woman, no swifter than a mudworm, might confine you into a tiny cage, and one must wait for a kind stranger to grant freedom. Jarrett, wise Jarrett, taught me the bird songs of our people. If not for him, I would never have learned more than the beasts could teach me. A beast's life is to survive. A human's is to know. I am both beast and human, and so I must do both.
It's a smart way to think about it. You ought to know quite a lot of history for the daughter of a bear. How is this possible?
I have learned all the bird song that Jarrett could teach. I remembered every word. These tales have brought me much pleasure. The remembering of the beasts is without lies. We know not to approach the wasp's nest because long ago one bear mother discovered its dangers. This she taught to her cubs, and those cubs taught the next. We do not remember Rito and the battle of the buzzing brutes. We remember only what is useful to us now. Rito will be forgotten. The beauty of the story will be forgotten. But the lesson will not. It is different between beasts and humans. I am lucky to enjoy both ways.
Okay, tell me more about Jareth.
He came to me when I was small. A fierce, wild one, yet unaware of the difference between the other cubs and herself. He called to me in a soft song. At first I thought him a great bird. We each reached out to the other. We found each other.
Okay.
Jarrett visited me often, and in time I learned his songs and more. When he built a small cabin within Home Forest, I hunted his food and fetched his water by day while he studied his books and his magics.
So he's
by
a
night,
wizard.
By the fire, he'd tell me tales of the world of people.
Huh.
Jarrett is my master and my friend, my teacher and myself. He teaches me and I care for him.
Sounds like they really love each other. Why have you come to Sicil?
I heard this was a place of many people, so here I came. I have seen more faces here in a day than I had seen in all the days of my life together. But I have not found the face I seek. Jarrett is missing. It is my duty to find him.
Have you any clue where Jareth might be?
That mystery is thick and ugly as a swarm of hornets. It started with a great disturbance in Home Forest. A terrible disease came in the night and turned the birds and beasts soft and foul as carrion while they still lived. I watched countless of my loved ones die, rotted from the inside. When I ran to Jarrett to tell him what I had seen, his reaction was strange. He had no answer. The next morning, Jarrett did not emerge from his room. I left him be, but after 3 days I grew anxious. I broke down the door and inside his chamber was nothing. His equipment, his books, all but some scraps of parchment were gone.
I smell...
He was kidnapped, and all his research was taken with him. The only clue I found was a letter among the scraps. I could not make out all the words, but I recognized the threat. Death, coming for you. And the signature? Attenborough.
Are you here, Jake?
I do not know the one called Attenbearer, but I know that if I am to find Jarrett, I must start there. Whoever this Attenbearer may be, I believe he or she may know where Jarrett has been taken.
Alright, take my leave. I didn't want to talk to you, I wanted to talk to Jahan.
This dog we met, how true a creature he is. How loyal and unwavering in its affections. His master is dead, but not even this, not even nature's great betrayal of life, stops his warm-heartedness from beating.
Right.
Animals. Dog and deer, elk and eagle. We burden and butcher them, wretches that we are. These pillars of creation, we topple them, though their spirits are so very pure. They are. They do not scheme. They do not deceive. Perfidy. That is the human condition. This kind, this trusty beast. He is man's best friend, though man does not deserve one.
Oh, dang. But humans are but vile creatures when you get down to it. At least animals are still one with nature. Animals are not better than humans. They just don't know any better. Quite the difference that.
Where are you, Jake? Are you playing without me?
See, this is where you start to move into philosophy. Because I don't think the animals are better than humans. They're just instinctual, so I would agree. They just don't know any better. And the capable of transcending instinctual thought means that you make proactive decisions as to what you wish to do. Like, you're conscious. You can actually, you're sentient. You have the ability to rationalize your decisions. Because instinct is reactionary. It's less rationalization. It's just quick decisions in most cases. Or habitual decisions. So I would say that animals are not
mind because you
better.
are human, all too human. And deep down you place trust in your fellows. But one day a stab in the back will tell you I am right. I know, for I have lain on silken cushions in marble palaces, and I have lain on wet leaves in soggy forests. Vastly
Jahan's a pretty interesting character. A little bit nihilistic.
Thorn may pierce
A
your
little
skin,
bit.
But at least you are aware the sting is not that of a poisoned needle hidden by aspiring rivals.
Okay.
In the animal kingdom, only one is
Only.
free. Beware the wolf, yes,
Yep.
beware the bear, but their rules are honest. The kingdoms of man, they are built upon the blood of the ones not strong enough to lay claim to power.
Right.
This dog, it is a creature worthy of your affection. The ones you see around you, the men and women of this world, they are not.
Alright. We gotta find which one's Jake.
Here lies Kavanagh. Will they have Sicil pie in the afterlife? Here lies Jake.
Jake.
Please do not disturb. Here lies James, as usual, the filthy fibber.
The filthy fibber. We're gonna dig them all up.
I smell.
Yeah, we're digging them all of them. Oh. Sicil pie. Dirt pile. We're gonna consume that. Good old pie. Oh no! Oh no!
Jake!
What the heck? What is this? Dave?
How could that happen?
Oh no.
What goes up
Boom.
must come down. The force of Maxos is within me.
Aha! Encourage. There we go. Who's that? Hey, lady. Siva? Who the heck was Siva? That's not good. I'm gonna make sure I didn't accidentally just kill someone important. Oh, no. No big deal. She's not important. Don't care. But you better not hurt Murphy. You better not touch that good boy.
Eternal flame to my aid.
You were right there.
Huh? Why can't I hit the 62? 73? Oh no. That's not good, that's not good, that's not good. I'm getting throttled. Oh, that guy's got some health.
How could that happen?
Let's do this and see if we can freeze the guy. We should be able to freeze him. There we go. Better alternative. Get him. Nice. That was a lot of experience, too. That dude was nuts.
I needed that. Back on my feet.
Are you playing without me?
Alright, let's dig up Jake's body.
What trickery is this?
Sheep's corpse.
That's not Jake.
It's a rotting sheep's corpse. It seems someone snatched Jake's body.
So Jake's not where he should be. Nemris.
Look here.
Nemris.
Even a sage and all
I think we read about this guy.
renowned as I is flattered when mortals dare among the dead to seek him out.
I think we have one of his books.
Well, here I am, Nemris the Wise. You may go wide-eyed with amazement now.
Tell me about yourself.
As if I need introduction. Nemris the thinker, the theorist, the visionary. Come now, surely you lack the time, as I do, for such silly questions.
You're an author?
Oh, I've written so many celebrated treatises, but of course you have read and revered the philosophy of death, the diamond in the crown that is my literary legacy. There isn't a civilized soul.
Oh, we did
alive
read
that
his
hasn't
philosophy of
perused
death.
Its profound pages percolating with perspicacity. Alas,
Perspicacity.
so few show an understanding
Big
of
word.
my words. So few show the expected intellectual growth when I put them to the test.
Can I read your philosophy of death?
You can, and indeed you must. But alas, I was not buried with a printed version of that blueprint of genius that is my inimitably esteemed essay. Never fear, though, for each and every library in Revellon boasts a copy, the gilded cherry on their paper pie.
Alright, put me to the test,
Do you
because we read the book.
feel you are ready to prove that you have read and understood the philosophy of death?
I am.
Then we shall proceed to test the mettle of your acumen forthwith.
Okay.
Between life and death, Death is the greater force. So argues the clergyman. Is he correct?
No, because with the philosophy it was, if life was your point, if what you focused on was life, then death becomes the greater force. So with clergymen, they focused on death, so life became the greater force.
Yes, he is.
No, you're wrong.
Disagree with me again, and I'll teach you all about the supremacy of death myself.
The supremacy of death? That was rough.
Where are you? Are you here, Jake?
Oh, not good. There, we got you. Boom. Yeah, you need to not be wrong.
No, I stand...
Let us proceed. Life is life's own goal. The question that is itself the answer. Good. Now I am unburdened of all worries, am I not?
No. Because if life is life's answer, or sorry, if life is life's own goal, then you're basically burdened with basically worrying about death. And that creates, I believe, fear.
Wrong. It's yes.
I'm getting really tired of this.
Come on, be a sport. I know I'm right.
Hit me with that paper. Nice.
No, I stand by...
Last query. Boldly do I scorn the bonds of faith and fear. Death I dub thee life's equal. Is this my salvation or my undoing?
That becomes your salvation, because then you're no longer afraid of death.
Indeed.
Most impressive.
We got an achievement. Mine's a terrible thing to test.
Miraculous. You have verily fathomed the message of my book. My undying respect is yours, to an extent.
Nice.
In the knowledge that my legacy is in good hands.
Take out more bodies.
Ta-ta. I shall see you in the next life.
Dig up more bodies. Oh. Oh, he gave us a chest. We'll dig up this body. Bone. What's in here? We got some boots, a crossbow. We need Lore Master, the ability, so we need to start getting some... We need to get another level up here so that we can get the Lore Master ability on Jahan. What do we got here? We're dealing with a mage this time? Oh, he's going to be easy to hit. He's going to have to be easy to hit. He's not going to have enough armor. Helen? Not easy to hit. Oh, we stunned her. That's good.
Goes up must come down.
Oh, I missed it. Dang, that's not good.
I need another chance.
Yo! Not Jahan. Oh my goodness.
mist.
No! Not winter breath. Oh, yikes. Oh, no! This is not going well. Nice. Come on.
Seven, have mercy on your soul.
That was rough. I almost went... Man, we fell.
Bless the seven, I am restored.
Got a 4-turn cooldown.
On the mend.
I feel better already.
Nice. Let's go down this hole.
On the mend.
Hit her? I can. Hit. How do you keep missing? You need to figure that out. Nice. Fire. Good. Undead killer. Nice. Ricochet.
Seeks more than one target.
Nice. Damn, got a lot of points, but for you, I'm gonna fling you a little closer. And then we are gonna blitzbolt you.
I strike from the soul of
Done.
air. More junk.
To equipment, let's go to Bear Daughter. She's already got bracers. He's already got bracers. Those bracers are not the same. Yennefer already has bracers. And so does he. So we're good on armor. We don't need to do anything here. Antique mail armor, we're gonna pick that up. I don't mean mail like the gender. These generation scrolls gonna go to Jahan. Avatar Frost Skull or Frost is gonna go to Jahan. That's going to Bear Daughter. And we're gonna go to equipment, and we're gonna look at the Source Hunter's chest. The the antique mail armor is more. So we're gonna go ahead and equip that. As you see, we look a lot cooler. So the thing with heavy armor is it does make our character move a lot slower. So we got to be mindful. One of the abilities we're gonna need to get is like a bull rush.
I don't have the right tool.
And we want that. What are we looking at here? 2,000. We might be able to get it from this fight here. This might be a tough one. I don't know. ahead and use rapid fire. Go ahead and use ricochet. Ricochet's a dope ability. We are not going to sleep on it. Now the Scorcher drops fire when he's damaged, so we're going to try to abuse that the best we can, which means that in order to do so, we do got to be mindful he does heal from that. But what I mean by abusing it is we're going to abuse it by lighting everyone else on fire. And see, because we're smart about where we're placing this, it spreads the flame. So that last guy in the back really doesn't have a whole lot of options. But we do. How'd you miss that? So see, this guy's got to go all the way around. We pretty much just wiped out his turn. The Undead Swordsman's done. He heals from burning. That's where we got to kind of be careful. So on Jahan's next turn, he's got to cast Rain. We're going to get rid of all this fire. That's on us. We have to get it out of the way. Otherwise, we're going to be kind of stuck here. So we're going to rain it up.
I need to dry off.
Unfortunately, I don't think he suffers from the wet status, so really not much we can do there. I'll kind of leave that be. We can't do anything with her because fire heals him, so we kind of have... That kind of sucks. We kind of have to sit by.
I need another chance.
He's going to keep coming up. Nice. Can you stop missing? Oh, the smoke screen. That makes sense. But now we can officially get him because we can teleport him on top of you. We got some level ups. So we did level up from that fight. That's good stuff. We're going to go ahead and pick up the antique cloth armor and the antique robe. Okay. And then we're going to go to Jahan. We're going to go ahead and level this bad boy up. We're going to start with attributes. So level 4, you get your first attribute ability. He's going to go ahead and upgrade his intelligence because that's going to increase his ability, his magic, so that's cool. Skills, he's got 2 on each of those. I don't need anything else, so we're going to go to craftsmanship and go to lore master. So now he can start identifying items for us. We just need a magnifying glass, which we'll go buy now that we have this. So he's good there. Bear Daughter is going to go to attributes. She's going to go with dexterity because dexterity increases her ability to deal damage with a bow. So that's where she's going to go. I think if we went... Yeah, that increases critical chance. So perception's going to be another one because we want her to crit. And we want her to crit hopefully as often as possible. Whereas with her... Oh, she actually has Lore Master. So, man, I think we kind of somewhat wasted that ability with Jahan. I wasn't even considering that. That sucks. I should have looked at that a lot more. Okay. So, what we are going to do with her, though, is we are going to... Yeah, she's going on bow. This is melee. Yeah, it's melee, so we're not going to do anything here. We are going to give her pointing crossbow so that we can alternate. I think that's a good route to go. And then we're going to go ahead and head back. We're not going to stay down here. The whole goal is just level up. We're going to go buy some stuff. We're going to look at our items, and then we're going to call it for the day. So we're just going to wrap up here before we hop off. Had a pretty eventful, getting through a little bit more exposition in the story, which has been great. So now we can go ahead and let's actually, force of habit, let's go ahead and heal you. And then when we come back with Divinity, we'll have to officially start investigating into Jake's murder. Today we got 2 levels, which is good. Every level that we can get is beneficial, so we want to kind of stockpile on those. 2 level ups, not bad. We're going to sell some stuff. We're going to buy some stuff. I'm going to call it a good day. And I think we got to get it from the scroll person.
Oh no, noble friend. Your upper chakras are in desperate need of a good scrubbing. Fortunately for you, my homebrew tinctures will do the job. Or if you're in the mood for something a bit more
So see, we can sell these paintings for a
my
boatload of money.
scrolls might give your system just the shock it needs.
Might buy some of that stuff later. We're gonna go ahead and buy one for you. Yennefer, let's buy all 10 for you. Harmful short sword of the doctor. Gives us additional strength. Don't worry about buying those items just yet. Advice. Oh, yeah, it requires level 6. Some of these we can't use just yet, so. Avatar of Frost is a good one. Melee attackers may get frozen, so we can set that on our main character because he's a tank. So we're actually going to grab that ability. That's a good one for Jahan to have. Well, actually, he can learn it because he's going to use it on himself. As a defensive ability, and Jahan can focus more on healing and some other buffs. We'll look for like group buffs. So now what we can do is we can actually identify these.
A good day to you.
Alright, and then let's go to our equipment and start looking at what we got here. So these are cloth bracers of telekinesis. Yennefer is going to have telekinesis, so we're going to give her those. We have an antique robe and a... we're actually going to give her the antique robe. Bear Daughter is going to take... Bear Daughter is not going to take nothing. We can actually get rid of that cloth armor. Alright, see what we got for those shoes. 1 initiative, 7 health. Yeah, we're gonna give it to him for the health. And then what we're gonna go ahead and do is we have the wand. So we're gonna give her the wand. Allows her to cast Ice Shard. You know, she doesn't have a lot of Hydrosophist abilities, but that's the cool part of wands is it does give you the ability to cast free spells. Whereas staves don't really give you that ability. And the Bear Daughter is going to look at this crossbow. A little bit less damage, but it does have a chance for bleeding. So that's a cool part. The critical, it deals extra critical damage, as you can see. So you're removing some maximum damage for some additional critical, lower movement, and the chance to bleed. Range is 26. This is 22, so this has a longer range. So we're actually just going to go ahead and trade out for the crossbow because it's kind of better just all the way around. And then we're going to talk to Bersha because we have to.
Source hunters, if you've got a favourite sheep, best that louse.
Yeah, we're just going to get that out of the way.
Did he even bother grilling a single luscious chop?
So we dealt with...
This is intolerable. The momentum of time is slipping through our hands, and you fritter it away on conversations about decomposing mutton. Focus, Source Hunter. Focus.
Don't tell me to focus. You focus.
Well, hello there.
Let's make one of those. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and save it. Here we go. Girls to entussle you. Alright. And that's been a good, fun day for us. So, we've had, you know, a lot of good stuff there. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Let's see what we can do. Because now we're pretty much done for the day. Done for the night. Tomorrow we'll be back with some Elden Ring, which is good. We'll come back with some Elden Ring tomorrow. We are continuing our faith-based build that is set by Fetch to Life's channel. So if you go to Fetch to Life, you can find him on Twitch. You can also find his, he's got a lot of RPG guides out on the intrawebs. So we use Fetch to Life's guide to build our Elden Ring.
A good day to you.
So that's going to be fun. Let's see here. And then, yeah, Friday, I haven't decided yet if we're going to be playing some Apex Legends, or we're going to be playing some Warzone. We also have Fortnite and Fall Guys. I don't know what we'll be playing on Friday. And then, obviously, Saturday, I found out we're 50% of the way done with Nier. So we'll be back with Nier Replicant on Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. So keep up with either following along on the stream, which is an absolute pleasure to have you guys here. If you guys watch me on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. Keep waiting for those uploads. And let's see if we can raid. Who could we raid out?
A good day to you.
Well, you know, I don't know if at the current moment, I don't think there's anyone that I want to raid for just the night. So what we're going to do is we're going to see how tomorrow looks like with raid. We're definitely going to be raiding out tomorrow, because I don't want to go every day without raiding. I love spreading some love and support, but I also don't want to be raiding the same people every single time. So we'll wait for tomorrow. We'll see what that brings us. Nothing bad, nothing bad. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night.